Okay, for your assignment today, you're going to be writing some code to do some data validation. So I'm going to give you an example of that in this video that is very quick, and the assignment is really quick too. You're just going to ask the user for a username and a password, and then verify that the username and password fit the requirements. Okay, so let's say in this program we're going to ask the user for a password, like one like that. And we want to make sure that the password has, let's say, a special character in it. Okay. Now, keep in mind this example is going to be similar to what you're doing, but not the same. You're going to be using the isDigit and isAlpha functions in your assignment. All right. I'm not going to be using those functions in this example, but the setup is going to be somewhat similar. All right. Um, Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a list of, say, special characters. All right. And I'm going to go and, oh, that's not a good one. Let's go like that. Okay, so there's my list of special characters. And I'm going to ask the user for a password. And I just want to verify that their password contains a special character. Enter your password. In order to do this, we're going to go letter by letter through the password and see if any one of the letters is one of these special characters. All right. We should know how to use a loop to go through a string letter by letter. So this is a little bit different than the examples in the first video. In the first video, we were taking an entire string and seeing if it was like all digits or all alpha characters. This time we're going to go through each individual letter of text and see if it is a digit or a letter, or in this case, a special character. All right. So I'm going to go through each letter in the password, and I'm going to check to see if that letter is a special character. In this case, I'm going to use the in operator again, see if it is in special characters. So here's where you would use something like isDigit or isAlpha. Now, if it is, I need to basically set something in the program to remember the fact that we found a special character. Because in the end, after this loop runs, I want to know either yes, there was a special character, or no, there wasn't. Okay? When we have yes or no questions like this, that is a good time to use a Boolean variable. I usually call these types of Boolean variables flags, because what you do is you raise a flag and you're like, oh yeah, I saw a special character. And then once you see a special character, you don't put the flag down, it's just up now, okay? Because you found one. So we're not going to be flipping it back and forth. I showed you this the other day in a for loop where we don't want to go from true to false to true to false or whatever. We just want to flip it up to true if we find a special character, and then that's it. All right. So I'm going to go has special equals false initially. And if one of the letters in the special characters, one of the letters is in the special characters list, we will take has special and set it equal to true. Okay, and again, do not put an else block here that sets it back to false. Right? Don't do that, because then it'll just flip it back to false for any character that's not a special character, even if there was one in there at some point. All right. So then afterwards we can go if has special, right? But what I want to do is I want to keep asking them to enter a new password until they enter a password that has a special. So I'm going to go like this, while not has special. And then I'm going to ask them for the password inside the while loop. Move all this stuff over. So has special is false. While it continues to be false, I'm going to ask them for a password, check to see if it has the password, and set it to true if it eventually has one. Now, we could also make another requirement like make sure your password has a certain length, right? That's often a requirement. So we could go while not has special and the length of the password is less than 8 or something like that. If you wanted to do that, you'd have to set your password to empty to begin with, so there'd be a variable to check, right? You can't check the variable if it doesn't exist yet. Okay, so then this loop should end once has special has been set to true. So I'm just going to put a print afterwards that says thank you to indicate that we have accomplished the job. Let's test it out. Get it out of the way. All right, enter a password. So I'm just going to go like that. No special characters. Oh, it asked me again because I haven't any special characters. And we'll continue to do this until I enter the special characters, and then it is ready to rock. All right. So there you go. That's a for loop inside of a while loop that does some data validation. Okay, good luck on your assignment. It's number 38 from activity 2.1.5. You're validating a username to make sure it is long enough, and you're validating a password to make sure that has both letters and numbers. Be sure to read the requirements here, and then the assignment is down here in number 38.